okay? First for our resident Philly expert, Eric Kratz, in the Pennsylvania area. The city of Philadelphia and really half the state of Pennsylvania adores Bryce Harper, and that continues as Bryce stays hot. Not only gets booted from the game on a BS check swing call from everyone's favorite umpire, Angel Hernandez, but then pretty creative to toss the helmet into the seats. And of course, Bryce being clutch, it ends up in the hands. I mean, Dad helped out, but in the hands of a 10-year-old, he gets it signed. I mean, that's a very unique piece of memorabilia to take home. And Bryce had an epic rant too. So your thoughts, Kratzy? Did Bryce do anything not perfect?
I mean,
not perfect. What does that mean?
You can't encourage guys to be yelling at umpires like this, but MLB has put us in this situation as players. There's no repercussions. So a competitive player with a nice toss, I wish I would have had my helmet, but what a great piece of memorabilia that kid has forever. But MLB's put us in this situation. Like, you can't encourage guys to yell at umpires and to do what he did. So I can't say, oh, he did it perfectly. And maybe that's the high school coach in me. But you can't, like, there has to be, I get it, people make mistakes. And you are always on higher alert. When it's Angel, everybody on the bench is like, oh, great. It's Angel. Or, oh, it's CB. Or Laz is behind the dish tonight.
Spot on. Top three right there. Good call.
And you sit there and you go, well, nobody said anything about Larry Vanover until he's done, with his game, and he's not calling pitches. It's like, to me, you have to take out of it when you're in the game, when you're starting the game, you have to take out of it who is out there, because you're automatically going to have borderline calls. And as soon as it doesn't go your way, oh, he's the worst. Statistically, Angel Hernandez not every year is the worst. But his face just makes me feel like he's the worst, because he always looks at you. He's like, he's always, him and CB are always just smiling at you with this like grin. And you're like, are you angry at me? Angel, not to continue this, but Angel one time told me, and CB, they were both on the same crew. They said, you know how I check to see if somebody check swung or not? Because I asked Angel, I go, why do you go like this? He goes like that after somebody's behind the dish. He goes, because I look at their face. And CB said the exact same thing. He goes, you can tell a lot by somebody if they swung or not if you look at their face. Can't make it up.
I just wanted to carry the combo into this.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to get your thoughts on Bryce yesterday and how you personally also like deal with umpires when there's bad calls, because it's tough for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, first off, have you ever seen somebody's batting helmet get launched into the stands like that?
Wow.
That was incredible. I think as soon as he launched it, and obviously we could joke about it a little bit at the time, because these games right here, we're already in the playoffs. We already hold our spot, but it sucks, man. It sucks watching a guy's at bat get taken from him like that. He grinds out a walk right there, and obviously frustrated. None of us, I was going to give crap to Delay for even checking the swing from the dugout, because I thought there was absolutely no way he went around. And of course, Angel's down there and bangs him on it. And you guys know, going through an at bat like that, you work your tail off to get to a 3-2 count and then spit on a pitch like that and get to first base. So for somebody to take it away from you, it sucks.
What is Dusty doing down there? Dusty's like looking at Harper like, and he didn't even get in between them. Is Dusty looking to get Harper an extra fine for he's got to at least stand in between them?
Dusty saw Top coming from behind and figured Top was going to get there, but Top was a little slow yesterday, like most of us, and didn't get there quite in time. And then Dusty tries to shoot in there at the end, but also wanted Harp to be able to give him his fair share of thoughts, because it's not the first time that's happened to one of the players on our team. We had a pretty good moment last year with Schwartz getting tossed by Angel. So I think he let him go all the way down there and make sure he could give it to him.
So while I have a quick moment, the one other thing I just want to say, about the Bryce Harper situation is poor AJ Pierzynski is not on today, our boy, but we will show this because he did do some work this morning. He was on the Daily Tip this morning, bright and early, and they posted this. Tell us how you really feel after another controversial decision by MLB umpire Angel Hernandez. The quote from AJ is, "Every player that gets ejected from Angel Hernandez should not pay the fine until MLB does something about this." That is good shit.
You love that shit. You love that crap, man. Come on.
Why? Of course I do. Why not?
Yeah, because it's juicy. It's so juicy.
Yeah, but also, like, Todd, if you were Bryce last night, let's say it was, I mean, that wasn't even a big game for him. Let's say it was like, Phil's need to win this one, and all of a sudden, Bryce is not in the game after a few innings because Angel screwed him on a check swing. Are you not losing your mind? And in the clubhouse afterward, like, this has got to stop. This is enough. This happens every freaking time this dude's on a series. We're done, right?
No, you got to have some discipline. That's what you need to have. I mean, listen, that's the human element that people either like or they don't like. I'm not saying, listen, I think AJ's quote is great. I think it's funny. I do. I like it. But at the same time, I've gotten thrown out of games too. And you look back at it like, man, I should have did this. You know, you're actually hurting your team. They made a mistake. Umpire didn't make the right call. Okay, get your argument in and get out of there. It's one of those things. If you're going to get thrown out of a game because you couldn't control yourself in the playoffs, especially, most guys don't get thrown out in the playoffs. But umpires, mostly good at all these umpires, give a little leeway. But if you're going to get thrown out of a game in playoff time over a call like that, yeah, it could be the call that changes the game, but they still need you on defense. They still need you to get another bat. So you have to have a little discipline.
But Angel Hernandez is either A, quiet quitting, or B, incapable of umpiring at the big league level.
That's where Joe Torre, if he's still part of that, and all the people need to understand, they need to take a look and not being lazy about understanding which umpires need not to be in these situations anymore.
It's called a severance package. The league's worth $1 bajillion. Just say, hey, dude, you had a really good long run. What if we give you $1 million to retire? That's what you have to do. I know they don't want to set the precedent, whatever, but you're affecting your damn sport, Kratz. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
No, agree.
It's chump change at the end of the day. This is one person who stands out above the rest who, again, either doesn't want to be out there and doesn't give a shit, or just isn't good anymore or ever, right? So pay him to go away. I know there's a union involvement to this. That's fine. But still, you can offer a dude a retirement package and say, hey, dude, you had a good run. Thanks for all the service. What if we give you a little package and you call it?
Not just him. And it's the latter of what you said. It's not about the money. It's about the fact that he's making mistakes. And you do make mistakes, but they have to set a precedent about what's the parameters of you being allowed to make X amount of mistakes. The reason that guys that just get called up have some of the best strike zones is not because, they're just better at it right now and the other guys are getting worse. No, it's because they care. It's because if they don't do well, if they don't make the right calls, if they're not locked in, they will get sent back down. So it's not by accident that Pat Oberg has the best strike zone. He developed that strike zone for the last 5 years when he was an up and down umpire, because he knew if he didn't do well, he would get fired. He would get sent back down to the minor leagues. Nobody wants to be in the minor leagues. So they have to come up with the system of accountability. They cannot do what AJ said. Everybody that gets thrown out based on a mistake from Angel Hernandez, because there'd be dudes will just be going everywhere. So I appreciate his point of view, but the answer is accountability. You as a player are accountable. You don't get sent down because you go 0 for 4 or 0 for 12. You get sent down because you're 3 for 36 and you have options. If you know that you are needing to be really good in the highest level of a game, this is a competition, then the umpires need to have that same accountability. And to me, that's where you pay them more. The guys that do the best, boom. You get the best scores, you get salary bumps. I'm not saying they're going to get $2 million, but umpire salaries haven't haven't stayed with the rise of player salaries in the sense of like percentage wise. So there's got to be some type of accountability there. And it's not don't fine anybody, because people will just be like, and fines, who cares? Fines go to charity. So throw me out.
Well, and Todd, you said human element. If it's human element, then you can pay on performance, right? Or compensate, reward, like he's saying. Like if there is a human involved, then there's performance involved. It's not just going to be the same result every time. So that makes sense to me. They are performing out there.
We talked about it. There's just no accountability.
Nope.
I asked some umpires when I play, man, you got, how'd that sheet look that, you get how about percentages of how many strikes you got right and how many balls you got right. Yeah, we got that sheet. Yeah, I didn't look at it, or it was great. I get those answers, and it's just like, well, you got to have some. I don't know what the answer is, but yes, that's why people are getting mad.